To West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. We are here for the match preview. It is West Ham United taking on Leeds. Yes, this happened last week, but we're back again for another preview. I'm joined by Ed from All Things Leeds. Ed, how are you?
Very well, very well. Very well after Man United conceding late on, denying them a win against Aston Villa, which was very nice. Philippe Coutinho scoring there. So, yeah, feeling much better after that.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant to see that come back. But you went to the London Stadium last week. We've got to talk about it. I mean, you got your thoughts about the stadium, but what did you make of the game?
I mean, I thought Leeds did okay in the game, especially late on when we started bringing on the likes of Adam Forshaw and Stuart Dallas and Rafinha. I thought we were much better in the second half. But overall, I thought it was a pretty dull game. But I mean, to be honest, at the London Stadium, you're so high up. I barely watched the game. Like, it was just happening, and I couldn't really see much of what was going on. So, I can't really give a fair assessment of the game. But you know what? I think overall, West Ham probably did deserve the win last week, even though the first goal probably shouldn't have counted. Bowen's offside, and he interferes with play. There's no argument against that, really. I saw a few West Ham fans arguing that there should have been a penalty instead, but I thought it was a great piece of defending from our youngster. So, the first goal shouldn't have counted, and then if they don't score the first goal, and then it's a completely different game. Late on in the game, we're not, trying to push on for an equaliser, because you guys got the second goal on the counter attack. So, if the first goal was ruled out, which it should have been, then would have been a completely different game. But no, I thought there was a few positives from last week taken to the game tomorrow. But yeah, I'm not excited for the game tomorrow.
Yeah. I think the scoreline flattered us slightly, and if that, which I mean, it's the first time we've had a good bit of luck this year, and we got a lot of luck that day because we got that luck with the goal, and then we drew Kidderminster later on, which was more luck. But yeah, I think it was a pretty even game. We needed the players that we did put out in the end because we scored a second goal on the counter attack when you were going for it. But let's see who's in the chat tonight. I'm going to scroll up. We have had some technical difficulties today, so do bear with us. Gaza, hope you are fair play to Villa indeed. Lawrence, hope you are well. Jeremy, hope you are well. Jane, evening. Manx are useless. It is funny. We play next week, and I'm looking forward to going up there, and I'm thinking there is every single way in our powers that we can go up there and at least get a point, at least.
You can win that next week.
Wow.
Easily.
I think if we turn up, I think the only thing that's gonna stop us from winning that game is VAR and the referees. I think that's literally it. But Ed, are you gracing the London Stadium with an appearance tomorrow, or are you firmly staying at home?
Yeah, no, I'm working tomorrow, so I can't make the trip, which is quite fortunate because it was overall a bad trip really. On the way back on the coach, there was a bit of congestion on the M1 going up north. So overall it wasn't really a good trip. I'm glad I'm not doing it tomorrow.
I bet you are. Gary, hope you are well. Yeah, looking forward to getting back to the London Stadium tomorrow. I haven't been for a while, and it should be good. But in terms of the game, I've said to a few people that this is going to be a lot more difficult than the cup game. Just overall on a whole, how are you feeling for the game?
I'm feeling a lot more positive than I was going into the game last week because we've got the news that Bamford and Rodrigo are back, and Pascal Struijk as well. Now, there were a few photos of the Leeds players leaving Leeds Bradford Airport earlier, and apparently Bamford wasn't there, but Rodrigo and Struijk were. But we've got a couple of players back, which is a big positive. It's better than having more players out. So I'm feeling a lot more positive heading into tomorrow, and I think it's going to be a different squad. You're going to see Adam Forshaw in midfield for us. Rafinha will probably start, and it's going to be there'll only be 2 or 3 changes, but there's going to be loads of players swapping positions, so it will be a completely different team tomorrow than what you saw from Leeds last week. Robin Koch won't be in midfield; he'll probably be be at the back. So yeah, it's going to be a different team. If Rodrigo starts, then we just need to see how he does. But it's good that Pascal Struik's back because he's given us another option in defence. But yeah, no. Overall, I'm feeling a lot more positive going into tomorrow. I think we'll give you a much better game.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, if I was a Leafs fan, I'd be quite optimistic coming down. I did a show last night. We talked about Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, and a lot of West Ham players, because we were talking about values from a Leeds perspective. We know that he's not going to be involved tomorrow, but how much on a whole do you think the Leeds fan base rate in terms of money, Calvin Phillips?
In terms of money, I mean, a player like that is invaluable to Leeds
Yeah.
United. Same with Declan Rice at West Ham. You wouldn't sell him for anything. He's your player. I guess he's a Chelsea fan if I'm correct there. But no, he's more or less a West Ham boy. Calvin Phillips is a Leeds lad, and players like that you cherish. You don't want them to go at all. They are invaluable to your club. But yeah, if you have to put a price tag on it, you're saying at least £100 million. Jack Grealish left Aston Villa to Manchester City for £100 million. That's the type of money. Jack Grealish isn't a £100 million player. No chance he's anywhere near that price tag. But to Villa, he was worth that much. And it's the same with Leeds. Calvin Phillips is worth £100 million at least. And so is Declan Rice to West Ham.
Yeah, because that's what we're saying. And other fans say we'd give you 60 for Rice, and then we said last night on the show we'd value Phillips at around £60 million. Obviously, to you, he's £100 million player. To us, yeah. Declan Rice is £100 million player. It's kind of the same situation where other fans think that he's worth like 60, and fans of the own club think he is invaluable. That's definitely it. The refereeing outlet tomorrow, I don't know whether you've seen it, but it's Mike Dean in charge of the game with Craig Pawson on VAR. So it could be an interesting game. And a West Ham fan said it, quite a high profile West Ham fan said, whenever we get on a good run, they give us Mike Dean to referee the game. I mean, I'm sure you hope as well that it's fair and unless of course you want to go Leeds' way, that there's no silly Mike Dean infringements.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the officiating in the whole league and the whole of English football is just dreadful. So yeah, I don't really take notice to who the referee is for a game, because I know that there's going to be some controversy, whether that's with the actual officiating in the game or VAR. There's always going to be controversy with that, and especially with Mike Dean. So yeah, no, I just hope there's no dodgy decisions like last week that went against us.
Yeah, and as much as you wouldn't have liked it, it was nice for us to sit back and I sat back on my sofa and said that goal should be ruled out. It was a pleasant surprise when it wasn't ruled out. I was like, you know what, that's our bit of luck. We haven't had much luck, so that's our bit of luck. But Eric, hope you are well. Gaza says they're having a board meeting tonight at Everton to discuss Rafa's future. There's no way you can get through that. Surely. Peter says I think 2-1 to the Hammers. Yeah, 2-1. Keep your predictions, because we are going to do predictions a little bit later on. WHU FC says I'm thinking 3-1 to us. Just thinking we are too strong for Leeds, and hopefully we can keep our winning run going. Jeremy says evening all. Hope Zuma and or Souček return tomorrow. I'm going to get onto that in just a second. I would leave Zuma for the Man United game. The situation we've got, of course, we've been dealing with Diop and Dawson, which dealt relatively well with the Leeds attack last week, but Kurt Zuma's back in training after an injury and a bout of COVID. He really would shore up our defence, and that's a positive for us and a negative for you for our class centre back coming back.
Yeah, probably, but I mean, tomorrow I'm fully expecting Dan James to start up front at number 9. So I don't know how well your defenders do against pace, but I think Dan James could cause him a few issues if he's on top of his game.
Yeah, I mean, I go like that, but it does depend. I don't know what David Moyes will do tomorrow, because he could just chuck Zuma straight in there. I agree. I think Gaza said it. I would leave him for the United game. If it is Diop and Dawson, pace won't be our friend. That's for sure. I do like Dan James. He's a very good player. Wouldn't you agree? He's a very good signing from Man United. I do like him.
Yeah. He's been really good for Leeds United. it's kind of split opinion, really. I do see a few Leeds United fans say he's not too good, but I've been very pleased with him. He just needs to sort his finishing out, really. He scored the other week against Burnley, but I mean, the goalkeeper got hands to it, and it was just fortunate that the save bounced into the net. But it should have really powered that straight in. But no, I do like him. I like his pace. He's very, very quick. He can get by a man, and yeah, he's certainly been a good signing for us. Definitely another option, and yeah, I have a moment with literally no strikers available to us apart from Rodrigo and Bamford now, who I'm guessing aren't going to start tomorrow. They probably won't even make the bench. So yeah, he's given us another option going forward as well, which is nice. And yeah, if he's on top of his game tomorrow, he will cause you a few problems. But yeah, whatever centre back partnership David Moyes goes with tomorrow, I'm sure you'll you will give us a tough go at it.
Yeah, Anna's hope you will hijack. Massive game tomorrow. All eyes will be on this game with the Arsenal game off, definitely. And we keep playing our games. The likes of Arsenal and Spurs keep having their games cooled off. I mean, somebody put it on Twitter earlier. Once this game is played tomorrow, Spurs have got 4 games in hand on us. 4 games, that's mad. And if we do win tomorrow, we go 2 points off Chelsea in second if we do win. But I don't think this is straightforward by any means tomorrow. I am fearing Leeds. We have to be careful tomorrow. Leeds are a good side. We need to put our chances away. Bang on, Eric. Bang on. Really, really, really hope it's not the Mike Dean show tomorrow. Definitely. Tom says, I'm sorry, you chucked me the link. I'll jump on. I'm on my phone. I'll try and get you the link in a minute, Tom.
I can send apologies. It to him, I think.
Oh, well done. See, well done, Ed. Thank you very much. Well done. Apologies, Tom, because I'm on my phone and we've had a technical nightmare this afternoon. But we need Souček to stop the transitions. Man United, absolute bottle jobs. Well, that's just Man United, isn't it? Right. Whilst Ed does that, I'll go through my predicted lineup. People are saying some people are saying Souček is out. We don't know whether Souček is out. It's difficult because we don't know when he caught COVID and he's got is it 7 days. And we don't know whether he's going to be back and whether he's going to be back to full fitness. We know Zuma's back. We saw the video of Zuma back in training, hugging everyone. So if he's got COVID, he's now given COVID to everybody, which isn't great. But he's back, which is a big boost. Of course, Aaron Creswell came back unexpectedly for the Norwich game, so he'll slot in at left back, which is a real positive for us. Right back will probably be... is Soufal back? I don't know. I forgot. Hopefully it'll be something like Rice and Lanzini and the 2 in midfield. Then you'd have the likes of Fornals, Vlasic. I'll tell you what. Let's bring. Where are we? Let's bring Tom in. Here he is. Tom,
I'm so sorry. I'm even representing Ed. Look at me. I'm going.
Well, you should have jumper. Love it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sorry, I literally just saw your message. I apologise. I was watching the Man United game, and then I went on Twitter trying to be funny with a meme, and I saw your message. So yes, here I am.
Lovely. See, brilliant. You come on here when you've got your Leeds gear on. Brilliant.
I probably should have thought about that, shouldn't I, before I came on?
Doesn't matter. But how are you feeling for the game tomorrow? Are you like 60-40 West Ham Leeds, or is it more than that?
I know my internet may be a little bit dodgy, but can you still hear me even if I'm a little bit blurry?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, yeah. Right, if I go at any point, I'll quickly jiggle the internet. Yeah, the thing is, I'm always really nervous, just because it's Leeds. I say this every single time because I kind of expect them to be always a lot better. I've always said it doesn't matter with the injuries or whatever, but Bielsa will always try and play that same way. He'll always try and play sort of that possession-based football and try and play some creative football with the players that he has at hand, and everybody buys into that system of sort of the way Bielsa wants to play. So I am always a little bit nervous. We have to come out all guns blazing because Leeds will try and play at a higher tempo than us. And if we do that and we match them sort of in all areas of the pitch, I think we stand a good chance of having another professional display. But it really depends what Leeds will see. But I imagine with some of the first team names back, it will be a very different match to the one we saw than in the FA Cup. Because I thought even though it was a 2-0 win for us. I didn't think that actually reflected how the game was, because I thought it was quite a bad sort of game from both sides. But yeah, I think tomorrow will be a lot harder for us.
Yeah, definitely. We've just been talking about Zuma. Obviously, we've seen the training videos. He's back. He's back and hugging everyone. So if he's still got COVID, he's giving it to everyone, which is fantastic. Would you like to see him? Would you like to see Zuma straight back in there, or would you rather ease him back in and put him in for the United game?
Yeah, if it's a question of sort of like having him come back has changed up our transfer strategy, I think give him sort of another week, or at least till the United game. I don't know if that's next midweek or next Sunday or Saturday or whenever, but I'd give him, just even if it was an extra few days, just give him the chance to rest up, because obviously if he then goes down injured, then we've wasted another week again of trying to get another centre half in for the transfer market. So it makes sense, I think, to rest him and leave the Diop Dawson partnership just for one more week, which I'm sure we can all do as soon as we put up for it for the last sort of 3-4 weeks now. Exactly.
Ed, run through, you don't know injuries and COVID and all of that, but you are now the new Marcelo Bielsa. Run through your lineup of what you would do tomorrow.
Well, Melier would start in goal. Yeah. I thought it was brilliant last week against West Ham. Very unfortunate with that first goal that should be ruled off. But no, a few good saves last week. So yeah, Melier will be in goal. Ayling at right back. Diego Llorente, and if he's fit, Pascal Struijk. If not, then probably Robin Koch at centre backs, with Junior Firpo at left back. He went off last week, but it was just concussion. So I say just concussion, that is pretty serious, but he says he's fine. So we'll be signing at left back. Adam Forshaw in midfield. Going forward, it'll be Jack Harrison on the left, Rafinha on the right, Mateusz Klich and Stuart Dallas in midfield, I would imagine. And then Dan James up front. I wouldn't risk Rodrigo or Bamford just coming back from injury, because if those two pick up anything, then we're literally got no strikers apart from a 17-year-old who plays in the under-18s. So, I wouldn't risk Rodrigo and Bamford.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it, Tom? No strikers except the youngster.
Yeah, that's too familiar. It really is.
Yeah. From what Ed mentioned there, what one name thinks? Oh, we need to keep him quiet, or is there any?
Rafinha. Obviously, you did mention Rafinha, didn't you? I was paying attention. Yeah. Because realistically, he ran Cresswell ragged in that game, and he causes all sorts of problems. And we had Zuma and Ogbonna playing in that game. So if he gets the full 90 minutes and he shows up, then we're going to have obviously a problem on our hands. I do think, though, having Cresswell back is a major benefit, because obviously if it was against Masuaku for 90 minutes, then it would be even more of a worry. So I think, to be honest with you, I think having Cresswell back next to Diop almost, I'm not saying it was the best game in the world from Diop, because it was against Norwich again at the end of the day, but I think it makes Diop a little bit more assured on that left-hand side, having Cresswell there, because he knows at least Cresswell's going to do the dirty work to get back, whereas Masuaku can sometimes get so caught out of position. It's ridiculous. But we're going to have to be wary on the counter-attack. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of pace from both sides with James and Rafinha. They're probably going to switch a lot in game as well. And it's, if we can do that, I think we'll be all right. I think it will be one of those games that, again, I do think if we do get caught on the break once or twice, Leeds will make us pay. I mean, we kind of saw it at the weekend last weekend from Dan James, that he has the pace to break down and get past our forward line. It's just whether or not he can finish, which is weird, because like when he first went to United, he was absolutely on fire. At Swansea, he was on fire. But it's almost like he needs that bit of confidence back as well. So it really will be difficult if they really break quickly on the counter-attack against us. And I think that's where we'll be at our sort of most susceptible, or, something like that. So, yeah, if we can sort of contain those two, I think it makes it a lot easier a game for us. But I'm sort of wary about playing Lanzini in this game. I did think he did all right in that first half, but when Norwich sort of tried to take the game to us in the second half the other day, I thought he struggled a little bit. And I think the way that Leeds play and the tempo that they try to play Lanzini could tire very quickly if he's having to do a lot of work in the centre of the park. So I would be looking at Noble maybe if he's back, or Kral obviously to maybe step in. But we'll have to see. It'll be an interesting game.
Yeah, I thought, I agree. When teams do come at us, and when Norwich did come at us, I thought Lanzini just drifted out of the game, and that's nothing against him because he is playing a lot at the moment, and fair play to him. But Noble, we haven't heard too much about Noble. He wasn't in the squad. We're told he was picked up a small knock. Whether he'll be back in time, we don't know. Zuma should get some game time tomorrow, but I don't see him playing the whole game. Yeah, I don't see him playing the whole game, but I can't really see David Moyes bringing him on with 20 minutes to go in really any situation. It tends to, if there's not an injury.
If it's to shore the game up and it's like 2-1, or we're sort of nursing the lead in the last sort of 5, I can see him doing it then, but I don't think he'd want to risk him for more than sort of 15 minutes or something like that. And if he doesn't have to bring him on, I don't think he should bring him on.
Yeah, for the love of God, man, take that shirt off. I mean, we're never going to live that moment down.
I'll do this. Hang on, there we go. I'll come down here so we can't see it.
For the love of God, I mean, to be fair, you're never going to live that moment down, Tom, are you?
No, that's all right. I don't mind. I'll accept
it. Let's scroll down. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I want him off the bench at 60 minutes. Want him with Diop. I think he could bring back the old Diop. See, my issue with that is that he'll put Dawson next to Diop, next to Zuma, because
that's the better thing to do.
Yeah, because I think that Dawson is higher up the pecking order and's got more brownie points than Diop personally. But we'll have to wait and see. Something might have changed in David Moyes' mind. Could they produce our first signing tomorrow? Lingard, they can agree we won't play him against them for this season. You never know. See, my theory is, we go up there next week. Can't we just bring him back on the bus? I mean, I'm sure there's a seat. Can't we just bring him back on the bus?
He's not coming anymore. He just isn't. I mean, again, I'm not shocked at all, because it's, he made his bed when he sort of wanted to stay at United, and then again in January he said, making rumblings that he wanted to stay again and see it out for the season. So if that's the case, and again today, if the fact that Anthony Elanga would sign, starting ahead of him, it's just like I think it's done now. And fair play, if he wants to do that, then by all means go do it. But it just completely contradicts what he sort of wanted last season when he came to us. So no, that ship has sailed for me. I'll always respect him for what he did and the way that he helped us, but I think he's done himself a disservice by not signing for us. The only way I could see him going anywhere is if Newcastle wanted to chuck some money and large wages at him towards the end of the window, and then I think he'd go there.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. Yeah. It's a shame, but if he wants to have his weekly 5 minutes at the end of a United game, let him do that. If Souček still has COVID, I would really like to see Kraut in the Prem. Was surprised with Lanzini in the double pivot against Norwich. I wasn't surprised, because I don't know what Kraut's done to David Moyes, but he's obviously done something, because he just can't get game time for love nor money. Rebecca, hope you're well. Mad respect to Ed for not coming on stream wearing a Leeds hoodie that looks from Essex, however.
Do
you confirm or deny, Ed?
Yeah, I'm not wearing a Leeds hoodie, but I mean, to be fair to it, it's not a Leeds United hoodie.
We're literally 10 minutes down the road from each other, and I'm wearing the Leeds hoodie. Shocking.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be wearing that half and half one, that Leeds United jacket I was talking about.
Oh yeah, I should go get my Leeds jacket and put it on over the top, and then get the West Ham shirt underneath. There we go. That's what I should do. I think I did that a few years ago on the watch along.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, brilliant. Anton, hope you are well. But who's the man that you fear from West Ham tomorrow, Ed?
Well, Jared Bowen, 100%. He's on fire, isn't he? At the moment, scored against Norwich. Scored twice against Norwich, didn't he? Obviously scored against us last week. Thought he caused us quite a few problems last week. So definitely Jared Bowen. Not Antonio. I don't think Antonio's played well against Leeds this season. I thought the youngster Charlie Cresswell at Ellen Road did very well against him. And last weekend, our 18-year-old in Leo Helder, who we got from Celtic. He made his first team debut last week, and I thought he did fantastically well against Antonio. Kept him very quiet. So, yeah, certainly Jared Bowen against Junior Firpo. That's a player who I fear a lot going into tomorrow.
That's for me. That's the biggest thing, is that in recently, especially against Leeds, the way that they like to man mark, every time that Antonio actually picks up the ball anywhere near, I'd even say like 35, 40 yards out from goal, a centre half will come screaming out at him and make it very difficult. They'll foul him, they'll make it tough for him. We've seen it against Watford because Peralta, or whatever he was called, stuck to him basically for 90 minutes every time he came out, made life difficult for him. The same happened last weekend against Leeds in the Cup. The same thing happened against Norwich. They had one of their centre halves constantly coming out to mark him. I think teams are working out that if they can keep basically Antonio with his back to goal at 35, 40 yards, it limits the amount that he's going to have to actually run at the defence. So I think if they can do that, it kind of negates what Antonio can do, because he's so bad with the ball at his feet. And then eventually, instead of playing through the middle, he starts to drift out to the left-hand side. And that's what allowed Bowen almost to play or come a little bit more centrally the other day. So I think it's not that teams are finding Antonio out, but I think they're finding a way around his power and presence. Leeds have always done that so well. It's the man marking across the pitch, and every one player has their man for the game. And I thought, again, as Ed said there, Charlie Cresswell and then Helder the other day did superbly well. Even though they lost in both games, I thought the man marking on Antonio made it really, really difficult for him.
Yeah, because teams have began to realise that. I have realised it this season as well, that Antonio now he seems to not. You can't lose strength, but he seems to have lost strength. He's always looking for that foul, and he hasn't been as effective in the second half of the first half of this season. Because Rebecca says it here. Whereas I was going to ask about Antonio, because last season Antonio was everyone's answer. He was, but yeah, I agree. I think he's beginning to be, or he is getting found out now. But Tom, just Bowen's on fire. He just continues on being on fire.
Yeah, no, he's. Because I'm with you, Jake, I won't make maybe some of the comments I've made on other streams about Danny Dyer, but he's been exceptional. I said this with James the other day. I thought the massive difference between, for instance, himself and Nikola Vlasic at the moment is that Bowen's looking to take those risks. I mean, the goal the other day for the header where he got in between Hanley and Gibson, those are two 6-foot+ centre halves. He had no right to get in between those centre halves to get the header in. But he's taking that risk, which is brilliant for him because he's got such an eye for goal. He's got such a nous for getting into the right areas. And the longer that he continues to do that, he's going to keep scoring. But again, the other week, as we saw, he should have had 4, 5, maybe even 6. He hit the bar. He produced a decent-ish save in the first couple of minutes against Norwich. So I still think there's a level that Bowen has to get to, not in order to get an England squad, because I think he's one of England's currently in the top 5 leagues. He's probably one of the best currently in that position. But yeah, he's just started taking a lot more risks. He's playing with his head up. He's playing with a bit more of intelligence. And I think that's showing, especially when Vlasic was on the other side, who looks just so scared to almost do anything wrong at the moment. But it's good for us because then it makes Bowen look incredible, and he keeps scoring and he keeps doing that. But he's in such a good vein of form that I think again he's probably going to carry that on against Leeds tomorrow.
Yeah, you can see the different players. You could tell that Bowen has. Bowen, Benrahma, Fornals, all these players went through the period that Vlasic is currently going through, and hopefully Vlasic is going to come out the other side like Bowen has this season, because Bowen's just been excellent, and he's had 4 or 6 more goal involvements than any other English winger. He can't do much more than that. Vlasic goal tomorrow, let's hope so. With Antonio, you need to look at the off-the-ball work and the players he takes away, making space for other players. Clippity Klopp is now after Bowen. I keep saying this, that I think there's something in this. I don't think he'll go there, but I genuinely do think there's something in that. I don't think that's made up rubbish, but he won't go there. Vlasic, Vlasic ain't taking any risks. He looks scared. Tomorrow is a big opportunity for him, definitely.
This whole month, a massive opportunity for him with Ben Rama out.
Yeah, definitely, because we expect. I mean, Algeria won the AFCON last time out, so we expect Algeria to go quite far in the competition, which means we might not see Ben Rama for a good month and a bit. But Ed, the one player for Leeds tomorrow, without saying Rafinha, because that's the easy answer.
Again, Dan James up front. Jack Harrison, I thought, was poor last week, and I said his name last week because he scored against Burnley. His confidence will be up, but I don't know. He's just not the same Jack Harrison as he was last season. So Dan James as the lone striker, definitely. I think the in midfield, it's going to be interesting with Adam Forshaw starting in midfield tomorrow, because I thought Adam Forshaw controlled a bit more of the game for us in the second half last week when he came on. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting midfield battle. But Dan James going forward, I think he might cause you a few problems.
The resurgence of Adam Forshaw has been quite weird.
It's been incredible. He came in a few months ago, not played a Premier League game for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, hadn't played a first team game for Leeds since 2019, and he's just been incredible. He's come back in. He signed a contract extension yesterday. It was confirmed until 2023, and it's fully deserved. He's been phenomenal for us. For the past few transfer windows, we've been saying we need to sign a midfielder, especially a replacement for Calvin Phillips. But Adam Forshaw is the all-round perfect midfielder. He's been fantastic. It's so surprising because I think he's 30 years old. A player who's been out for that long at that age to come back and do what he's doing for Leeds United, it's nothing short of phenomenal. So he'll have a good game tomorrow, certainly, if he does start in midfield, which I'm fully expecting he does. So it's going to be an interesting midfield battle tomorrow.
Yeah, Tom. I've said it. I don't think we win this comfortably. I think for periods of this game, I think Leeds have us on the back foot. I think they're capable of that if they turn up, and we did see bits of that last week, and I think we definitely need to be careful tomorrow.
Yeah, that's again what I was saying. I don't think you can really ever be comfortable against Leeds.
No.
Listen, they've had some poor results this season. They've just been literally so unlucky with injuries. They've been literally decimated at times, which makes it, off that Arsenal and Spurs gets called off tomorrow. And, when Arsenal were quite happy to play against Leeds' youth team almost a few weeks or a month ago, whenever it was. So, no, I think it will be a lot tougher than the FA Cup game. I think it will be a lot more squeakier than potentially the 2-0 win that we had. But do you want a match prediction? Do you want me to give a prediction?
Oh, go on then. Smooth.
Oh, go on now. Let's get it out.
Way.
Transition 2-1. I'm saying 2-1. I think they'll score. I think they genuinely will push us a lot more. But it's going to be a tough game. But again, for me, twice in a week, whoever wins, I'm a winner. So I'm all right.
Oh, dear. Ed, your prediction?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more tougher than it was last week for both teams, really. But especially for you, I don't think he'll be as comfortable as it was during parts of last week's game. It's going to be tight. You know what? I'm fully expecting a defeat again. It's hard to disagree with a 2-1 loss, but to not be too negative, I'm just going to go with a 1-1 draw. I'd take a point tomorrow. So
push it out.
1-1.
Go with the cheeky Desmond.
No, it's going to be. I'll take a point tomorrow. So 1-1.
Yeah, 2-1. 2-1 seems to be the popular prediction this week, and that's what I'm going to go for. 2-1 West Ham.
Can I just ask Ed, because I know he moaned both me and Rebecca, how was your match day experience at the London Stadium? Because by all accounts, you weren't a fan, were you?
Absolutely dreadful, mate. There wasn't much of a police presence when we got out of the train station. It was a massive walk. So I think we got in at Stratford Station, and I think if you turn left, you're at the away end in 5 minutes. But it took us right around the entire stadium. So it was a massive walk. And then when you're in there, if you're in the lower tier, it's okay. You're still quite far away because of that racetrack that's around it. But I think overall you're fine if you're on the lower tier. But when you're in the upper tier, you're so far away. Like, you can't see anything. I was getting dizzy during the second half. I turned around to my mate, was like, mate, I'm getting dizzy here. I think I need to sit down. He was like, yeah, me too. It was, yeah, I mean, at points, you just kind of forgot about the game because it was so far away. You couldn't really see much of what was going on. So you were just, the game just happened and you weren't really paying attention to it. It was awful, and there was a lot of violence as well after the game. West Ham fans, especially near the away end, they seem to be really, really angry for some reason. So hopefully there's no crowd trouble.
Oh, they will be. They always are.
Yeah. They were just bashing on gates and stuff, which is separating us. So hopefully there's no violence tomorrow, but there probably will be. But yeah, no, it was a dreadful experience. I'm so glad I'm not doing the trip tomorrow because it was a long trip, and as I say, going back up there was a bit of problem on the motorway, so it was even longer. So hopefully hopefully the Leeds fans traveling down have a better experience than we did last week.
Every single fan that goes to the stadium just says the exact same thing. It's fantastic.
It's awful. I mean, the thing is, right, the lower tier
is
so far away from the upper tier. There's like a ginormous walkway where you go to the lower tier.
One thing I will say, I did warn you when you came on the preview last week. I did say if you're in the upper tier, take binoculars. Did you listen to me? Probably not.
Well, I wear glasses, so I thought those would be enough, but I probably did need binoculars, to be fair. It's I mean, at times it felt like you weren't even in the stadium; you were just hovering above it. It was it was bizarre.
Welcome to the London Stadium. I mean, to be fair, the lower tier's all right. The lower tier's good. The upper tiers, I mean, it's not the best.
No,
but it's just it is what it is. It is what it is. But our stadium's dreadful. So. It's getting better this season. It is the atmosphere, and there's getting better.
The atmosphere is much better this season, by all accounts, anyway. Because obviously, I haven't been down this season. Obviously, with COVID and everything, I thought it was probably best to stay up here. But my dad, who's got last season tickets, said that it's the best it's ever been. And hopefully, with the upgrades that they're going to start to do towards the back end of the year, it can actually become something. There's still changes to happen, but at least it's the atmosphere's there, and it's kind of put to bed all the rumours that we weren't going to get into the top four, which. I saw Sky Sports. Did you see this earlier? Sky Sports, Jake, that they put up 2 graphics from the start of the season, and they showed top 5, and then now they've shifted it, and it's the top 3. They do not want anywhere near there. But listen, if we beat Leeds tomorrow, we're on the 3 points behind Chelsea with the same games played, and we're already at the 40-point mark, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So I think we will be doing it tomorrow. No problems.
Yeah, my only worry is that if we do win tomorrow, West Ham Clips is going to have nothing to say at the end of his video now because it's...
Yeah, he does. Minus 3 points to go. That's what he'll go to. I'm even going to message him later and say that's what he should say. Minus 3 points to go.
Good idea. Minus 3 points to go. Good idea. Eric says Rafinha is a sensational player. I like him. Cyber Leader hopes you are. They will eventually increase the stadium to 67,000. It's getting better. They still need to do things. They still need to get rid somehow of the massive trampolines that are in the middle between the top tier and the lower tier, where there's just space and it's just like trampolines. And they need. And they're still going to corner it in more, I hope. But yeah, there's improvements. But trust me, there have been improvements, Ed. It has been a lot worse than that. Yeah. So,
I mean, it was very quiet last week, to be fair. I don't know what you're going on about the crowd. It was very quiet last week, although when you've got 9,000 Leeds fans in the stadium, it's probably hard to make a noise. But no, I'll tell you what, I feel so sorry for you West Ham fans. Moving from the Bowling Ground to the London Stadium, that is just the worst move in English football, in my opinion. I mean, if we had the same, if we had to knock down Ellen Road and move stadium, I would hate it. It's not the same. It's not the same at all.
No, not knock it down, blow it up, because that's what happened. They blew it up.
It's dreadful. It's heartbreaking. So I hope the same doesn't happen to us, because it just didn't feel like a West Ham stadium anymore. It was so weird.
Yeah, It is frustrating because we couldn't get planning permission to make a upper tier on one of the stands, because apparently it would have went too high for the local area. But now they've got a block of flats that's 25 million foot in the air. But yeah, I'll just let Tom ponder on that for a second.
Stress.
Yeah. Eric says, I don't agree to compete with the big club. You have to have a big stadium. I don't either. And, I don't think the game massively depends on what stadium we're in. I think we're just playing fantastic football, and hopefully that can continue. Hopefully that can continue tomorrow. And then when we make the long old trip up north to near you two at Leeds, at Leeds, oh God, Man United next week. That's it, Man United. But Ed, I'll leave you with the final thought.
Beat Man United next week.
No, we will. Hopefully. Tom,
Definitely.
final thought?
Yeah, no, listen, I don't want to get ahead of Leeds because obviously I don't think we should overlook it. Should be take each game as it comes, and I think the players will do that. But obviously the Man United game next week is massive for us, just because we've had such a good upturn in form since Christmas. If we can beat Man United, which I watched the game this evening against Villa, and they were woeful. They were absolutely woeful. Villa had their numbers for 2 games in a row. So Moyes has got the perfect game plan. Ronaldo's got issues with his hip flexor. Fingers crossed. If we can beat Man United next week, I genuinely think there is a chance. And maybe 1 or 2 signings, obviously, before the end of the window. But if we beat United, I will believe that there is a chance that we can get into the top 4. That's going to be the our litmus test, shall we say, for next week is that United game.
Yeah. We need to show once again this season that we can do it against the big sides. I mean, Man United this season haven't really been big. They've just been Man United. We haven't done that. It's just been rubbish. But we'll leave it there. Ed, thank you very much for coming on again. And once again, I hope I speak for Tom by saying we are glad you enjoyed your experience at our fantastic stadium last weekend.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for having me on.
Thank you very much, as always. Tom, thank you very much.
Yes, sorry again for I didn't see the message, but we got there in the end.
We did. From me and Tom, come on, you irons. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Do all that stuff, and we'll catch you soon. Matchday vlog will be up for the Leeds game, and all that stuff, and see it there. But that's it. Cheers, guys. Bye bye, and let's get these 3 points.